I went back to this film because, and there's multiple reasons. So it's not just Zeke that I'm looking at. I'm looking at a healthy Zach Martin and a healthy Steele as well. So pay attention to the amount of impact that we got out of those guys, and we weren't getting that last year. So the reason I know, not think, that the run game is going to be better this year is because you got a healthy Zeke, a healthy Steele, and a healthy Zach Martin. The rest of those guys, yeah, I think we got better with Cooper Beebe. I obviously know Tyler Smith is better than Connor Williams is in this film here. And then, Guyton is going to be a work in progress, but he's already starting off, in my opinion, with the right mindset, which is let me get better now, not later. You know what I mean? He's working on it now. But watch these runs, man. These are under Kellen Moore. I won't front, so I got to give Kellen this credit for these plays. But watch these runs. Look, this is Zeke when he was healthy 2 years ago. 2 years ago. But look at the impact at the end of these runs. Like, this is 2 years ago, and we're going to get in the film of him his last season here too. So I got both seasons, right? So 2022 and 2021 and 2022, right? Both seasons. Boom. But when you watch what he was doing in this game, it was like, this is what you're getting from a healthy Zeke. Look at a healthy Steele right here, just killing this man. You know what I mean? Just clearing that out for him. And if we can get this out of Zeke, and I'm fine with it. Like, people who say that Zeke can't play anymore, Zeke was still doing this last year with the Patriots. It's just that the Patriots didn't have a quarterback or anything else going offensively. So if Zeke is all you have to stop on any team, then no, Zeke's not going to be the guy. He's not that. He's not LaDainian Tomlinson. You know what I mean? But if you have a viable pass game and, a balanced team, Zeke can still do this type of stuff for you, man. The things that he was doing on film, to me, when he was healthy, was fine. And look at the amount of space he has too, though. But both these seasons, he was healthy at the start of the season. He only got hurt halfway through the year. So I only judge you based off of you healthy. But I would treat any player that way, whether it's Dak, CD, Martin, and Steele. I didn't judge Steele and Martin last year either because I know they weren't healthy. But when you're healthy, I want to know what's your productivity when you're healthy. Zeke is not like the bus or Jerome Bettis and those guys late in their career where the start of the season they were playing like Zeke was playing with the knee brace, right? At the start of the season, the bus was what Zeke was when he was hurt, when late in his career. Zeke is not that. When Zeke is healthy, this is what you're going to get. When we're getting good blocks set up, Zeke still was showing great vision. You see still, and you see the lanes that they were giving him, though. This is what we weren't seeing last year. And that was a disservice to TP as well, who was also hurt because he didn't get these types of lanes because he didn't get a healthy Steele and Zach Martin. So TP kind of got a raw end of the deal last year, to be honest. I don't dislike TP. I like TP a lot, actually. But he got a raw deal because he wasn't getting these types of looks. Like, Zeke was getting space and he was getting Steele at his best, Zach Martin at his best. And you saw what the results were when he was healthy. He's giving defenses hell when he's healthy. So all I'm basing Zeke off of is a healthy Zeke. If Zeke gets hurt even this year, I'm not going to say, oh, see, he might get dinged up because of the way he runs. But what he did when he was hurt was what more important to me, which is he still showed up. He still was available, and he's a warrior. So he needs a cast around him. It looks like they're looking to become a power running team, which is what I like, because I feel like once you got Zeke out of the way before, you had TP who could hit home runs on you, but you still couldn't you couldn't use him as a battering ram, right? We have nothing but battering rams on this team now. Whether it's Hunter, Rico, Royce, or Zeke, they all are going to do this type of stuff to you. So you're going to get the same effect that the Eagles had the year they went to the Super Bowl, where when they wanted to run, look at this cut here. Zeke still has great vision and good balance. But when they wanted to run the ball, they could run the ball. The Eagles could, right? We're going to get that this year. I'm going to show this play one more time. Watch the vision here. He's setting up his own blocks. He set that up himself. Zeke still was doing this last year with the Patriots. And then at the end of the run, you got a man on your back. He protected his knees. People don't look at the PhD level understanding of Zeke on this play. Zeke is a very good running back, and the best running back that we had, not named Emmitt Smith. That the best running back that played for the Cowboys, in my opinion, not named Emmitt Smith, is Ezekiel Elliott. Now, look at this run. Let's watch this. I'm going to pause this. Watch this run. Boom. He sets up 28, So he puts him in the B gap on his own. He did that himself with his vision. Then he jump cuts back into the A, right? Boom. Now he has this guy on his back, right? He sees 22. He jumps over him with a guy on his back protecting his knee, because if he doesn't see that, if his vision wasn't PhD level, he tears his knee up right there. We don't have to wait to the Lions game. He would have tore his knee up there. Here, this was coming off of a season where they said Zeke was washed, right? This 2021 season, the 2020 season, they said, oh, Zeke is washed, right? So coming into this year, I was looking at this season. This is versus Carolina that year. This is against a loaded box. So coming into the season, I was watching Zeke in the beginning of that season. I was saying like, hey, what is he? And I was really paying attention to how he was running. When I saw runs like this, when I watched this Carolina game and watched how he managed this game, I said, there's nothing wrong with a healthy Zeke. I don't have a problem with Zeke when he's healthy. He hasn't torn his ACL yet. Hope he doesn't, knock on wood. He hasn't had an injury that makes it so that he can't be as physical as he wants to be, and he hasn't slowed down to a point where he's not effective with the ball in his hand. So to me, I'm fine with Zeke playing. No, he's not the future of the room, but signing a healthy Zeke is not a dumb play. He just did the same thing that I was just saying. This is called pressing the gap, right? So he presses here. So a young running back cuts early, and they'll tell the safety to key in on the A gap too soon. He holds the safety. Zeke is holding the safety just like Dak holds safeties with his eyes when he's looking guys off. Zeke is doing that right now, right? He's holding the safety in the C gap, right? Or the B gap. That's B gap. He's holding him in the B gap, right? On purpose. And then once he gets him to commit and plant his feet, he cuts right back into the A again. And he's doing that. That's Zeke setting up his own blocks. And because he did that, look at how many yards he got on this play. That's all Zeke. So his vision and his ability to assess what's going on right there with the ball in his hand, that's PhD level shit, man. That's not just this isn't talent. It's not like he's just running past guys because he's too fast, or he's just running through guys because he's too strong. This is understanding what a running back is supposed to be doing. That, to me, you can't buy that. You can't say you can go get that somewhere else. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
And is it cool if I pull up that tape from New England if people want to say like, oh, well, that was 3 years ago?
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm going to give you a second because I'm gotcha. For it. I know people in the chats are saying, no, this is that's what I said. Stop trying to counter their narrative, because that's not our narrative anyway. I'm not saying this is Zeke today. I'm saying this is a healthy Zeke. So the only footage that we can use is healthy Zeke footage. I'm going to show you him injured too in this footage. So, be patient with that. But I got you. I'll give you that too.
Definitely.
I got it all in here. But so yeah, I was showing him pressing. But since they said they wanted to see what they wanted to see, all right, this is him in. I'm gonna get to him in 2022. Let me see. I think this is the beginning of the year when you see Cooper Rush is 2022. I'm trying to make sure it's Cooper Rush in there. There's Dak in there. Yeah. Boom. All right. So let's get to 2022.
Yeah, which is still crazy. I can't believe we beat the Bengals that game.
This is him healthy his last season here, right? Hold on. Boom. All right, here we go. The next play should be 2022. Yeah, so this is him with Cooper Rush. Same thing. So it's not like him healthy, period. Even when Cooper Rush was here and we playing with Noah Brown, still winning. And what were we leaning on? We were leaning on Zeke. So a lot of people gave Cooper Rush only the credit, but Zeke was what we were winning with. We were winning with Zeke while Dak was injured. People forget that, though. They forget that. But we were winning with Zeke when Dak was hurt because of runs like this right here. Like, people weren't giving him the credit that he deserves for what Zeke was when he was healthy for us when Dak was out. Like, Zeke still is a viable option at running back, in my opinion. And when you get blocks like this out in front of him, which we weren't getting last year for TP, but when you have blockers out in front of him that can actually, lower their head and lay the boom and make impact, you can see what Zeke was able to do healthy, and you can see how much trouble he was giving these teams. This is again that same season when we had Cooper Rush and he threw like 2 or 3 interceptions that game. Zeke was the only bright spot in that game. Look at a guy told me earlier, he was like, when did Steele ever block Fletcher Cox? I call bullshit. I hope he's watching right now. because I sent him this film.
I remember this. I remember that exact
He's
play.
like,
He took him from here to here.
Yeah. He's like, when did us still ever block Fletcher Cox? He doesn't block defensive tackles. I said, yes, he does, fool. But yeah, I showed him this film because a guy just said that in my comments earlier. You know, he's like, I'm calling bullshit. He doesn't block Fletcher Cox. He just took Fletcher Cox into next week, like took him all the way across the field. But runs like this, like, can you use a run like that? Can you use this today? I can use this today. You know what I mean? Can you use that today? You know what I mean? He got 5-6 yards after contact on that play. But this is poor design. So if you look at the design of this play, right? I'm gonna go back. Let me get right through. Boom. So poor design, but he's going to run through it. So there's nowhere to go with this ball. He's already met in the gap by 22. This is all Zeke. Vision and contact balance. There was no yards to be gained by most running backs on this play. You know what I'm saying? There's no yards on this play. Where would you go? You know what I mean? He still got 6 yards on that play. So he gets dirty yards, and he was doing that in New England as well. You're going to show that in a second too. But this is what I mean when I say that a healthy Zeke is still a viable option for the Cowboys. You know, this is Zeke. This is Zeke's ability today. Like, he's not injured right now. He didn't get injured in New England. So if he can give us this, I'm perfectly fine with the signing because of what Zeke was able to do. And if he's getting this behind a line, doing what Steele is doing right there. Look at 57. Look what Steele does to him. Boom. Like, this is what Steele couldn't do last year, right? And Zach Martin either. So if Zeke's getting that, I'm perfectly fine with a Zeke signing if he's getting that type of line play and he's able to do this as a healthy Zeke. I'm cool with that. But look at the box. Look at the box. Look at that. Getting those types of boxes is crazy. There's a deal against Fletcher Cox again. But look at Zach Martin here and Cox. They both missed their block, right? They both missed their block. Zeke cannot cut this back. There's nowhere to go here. Look at this. There's 5 guys right here, right, that are not being blocked right now. One of them's on the ground, but he can't cut back if he wants to. There's no yards to gain here, right? Would you say?
No.
Okay. What happens? There was nowhere to go with that ball. You know what I'm saying?
Nowhere.
And he still got you 12 yards on that type of play. So this is the game where he got hurt. And even in this game, we just were talking about this backstage. But in this game, he had a hell of a game against the Lions before and after the injury. He should have went up the sideline and not tried to cut this back. I agree there. That was a bad move. But because he likes contact, he tried it. But he should have went out of bounds on this play and lived to fight another play, right? And saved himself. And we wouldn't be talking about this right now. But he got hurt and he's seriously injured there. But I want to show you what he does the very next play, bro. And you tell me, and anybody in the comments can tell me another player that they've ever seen do shit like this after bending their knee backwards. Like, come on, man. This is the very next play. That's all guts right there. That's all guts, all glory. You could tell, and this isn't even like a slight or anything. You could tell the lift isn't there on that. Yeah, he was hurt
because of the injury. Yeah.
This is after bending your knee backwards. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm talking about. This is a winning player right here. Like, if you want to win football games, Zeke Elliott is a guy that you want on your team. There's a reason why Bill Belichick wanted this guy on his football team.
Yeah, because he looked at him like a Corey Dillon type guy. You know what I mean? You still got some tread left.
And he was an asset to that football team. He was, for a majority of the season, the best player on that entire offense, which I mean, granted,
that don't say a lot. That don't say a lot. That just says how bad that offense is. But I still get what you're saying though. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Last year he faced loaded boxes 17% of the time.
Right.
Tony Pollard faced loaded boxes 11% of the time.
Right.
So, that's over half of what Tony Pollard was facing. If you want to run loaded boxes at 17% against Dak, please do it.
Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't even want to compare him to Tony because, like I said, I think Tony got a raw deal due to the line. The line wasn't there and he was coming off of injury. So I'm not even going to do it. I'm not like, oh, let me shit on Tony and act like Tony wasn't injured too. Like, no, I don't judge any player that is hurt. I didn't even judge Michael Gallup last year because it was his first year coming off of his injury. You know what I mean? Like, well, no, this was his second year. But I judged them their first year coming off. I don't judge them their first year coming off injury, off of an ACL injury. But so I'm not gonna do that to Tony either. I'm not gonna do that to Tony. I didn't do that to Steele last year. If you're hurt, you're hurt. I didn't even do it to Tyron, but Tyron came out and actually performed last year. But look, this is the Thanksgiving game with a brace on. People forget that he was running like this even with a brace. So if this is what he was giving me injured, I don't have a problem. I can't say that Zeke's a problem healthy. They're still killing a defensive tackle again. Like, you know what I'm saying? These types of blocks, if you're giving me these types of blocks from Steele and Martin, and you're telling me that Zeke is healthy, these are the results with an unhealthy Zeke. So why would I think that? Yeah, why would I think that BB, Steele, and Zach Martin and Tyler Smith are not going to do better than this? Like, this is what we were getting out of a healthy line when they were healthy. So why wouldn't I think they're going to do better now? Because BB's a beast. Schultz was killing on this play too, man. I think he took out like 3-4 guys. Well, but yeah, there's Schultz knocking another guy down. But this is what he was doing injured, man. Like, this type of play is crazy to me. To play this way injured is crazy to me, man. Steele and Martin, man, were the anchors of this line 2 years ago. They weren't that last year. Last year, the left side of the line was our strength. Tyron and Tyler were the ones healthy last year. Steele and Martin were not healthy. That's why you weren't getting this kind of movement. Look at what they just did right there with Jalen, right? They just moved Jalen, and that's Williams. Leonard Williams isn't a nut. You know what I mean? Look what they just did to those guys. You know what I mean? This is what I want to see this season. And if we're getting this season, no problem with Zeke being here. No problem with Zeke being here, man.